I do apologise. You had little to no music during... Well, you had no music at all during that intro. I do apologise. But first and foremost, it should be hello to everybody. But unfortunately, my webcam is being funny. There you go. Hello to everybody. A bit of an annoying start. But anyway, it is what it is. Guys, it is the legend of motor racing itself, the Monaco circuit, which was, of course, first opened in 1928, and we will go through its rich history and changes in just a second. But first and foremost, we have a legendary showdown for Season 3, and towards the end of SSRL as well, with 2 rounds to go. The drivers in the top 3 are separated by 23 points. If anything was to happen to the top 2, Rush the Series would be right there and maybe take advantage of it. But if Herman could take advantage of anybody's dismay, especially Andy's, he could be crowned world champion before the final race. But of course, we have a long way to go before that happens. We have an entire qualifying session to go. But at the moment, your top 3, as we've already announced, is Herman, Andy, and Rush the Series, all separated by 23 points in that top 3, and it should be one hell of an evening of racing. Outside of that, though, our top 4, well, the rest of our top 10 is Mr. Router, Evil taking the win last time out in Marina Bay in Singapore, and then John there in 6th, Danger David in 7th, Andrenan 8th, now a reserve driver, Pleasant Snake and Truckster round out your top 10 drivers in the McLaren and Haas. Then, outside your top 10, it is Kovachka, Daryl, Fellow Son, and Energetic, ranging from the McLaren to the Alpine to the Aston Martin to the Red Bull. Then Scott rounds out the top 15 in the reserve category. Then it's Quincy, who, of course, went from Aston Martin to Williams this season. Then Skid Solo in the Ferrari. Been a bit of a struggle with the physics, as Skid Solo had. Maybe things can finally turn around in Monaco. Toby and Tabran and then Sinful round out the top 20, and outside of that it is Enzo, Dan, Rowley, Quan, Moksha, Tark and Gino, who is now a full-time driver in the house for the last 2 rounds. Then it's Race Chase, who of course went full-time with Kick. Then Frankie and Sir Ibo. So we do have one hell of a race for you to come this evening. Now, Mr. Walter, wish him a happy birthday, but he can sadly not be with us today as he is out celebrating. I imagine having a good time with his friends. Also, Son cannot make it today, so we've got Veda Boy, which looks like, well, if that flag is true, that's an Indian driver right there. That's really good for representation, I must say. So there you go. Indian driver, and will be the first I've had to call on, and I really do hope he has a good race today. At least, well, he'll have to get through the test of Monaco first. But it'll be an absolute pleasure to call his name out whenever I get the chance. Also, to Bran as well is replacing Fellow Son. He cannot make it either this evening. So we are a bit short on numbers, but only by 1. But needless to say, I do think the action will more than make up for it. Guys, strap yourselves in, because this might be one of the most important qualifying sessions for one of our drivers. But first and foremost, to introduce this behemoth of a circuit which has been with us since 1929. It contains 19 turns at a length of 3.337 kilometers at 2.074 miles. The lap record is a 1:12.909 by Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes W12 back in 2021. Of course, if you remember that, he was unfortunately done by strategy and only finished 7th, while Max Verstappen took the win that year around. The track has actually remained mostly the same since its opening way back when, as of course a lot of its roads, Hamilton, yay, the roads are actually part of the Principality of Monaco. I think it's called a principality. I don't quote me on that though. I might have got that wrong while I was doing the notes. But some of the main changes that have come through is, like, the chicane. The Nouvelle chicane being moved, which was, I think, back in 1968, and then, of course, the addition of the Nouvelle chicane that we know and love today, being added in 1986. And of course, there was the redesigned swimming pool section in 1997, where it went left, right. And absolutely. And of course, I should also announce Quincy has decided to make this a night race. So look forward to that. I can't wait to see it. I think we had this in KLR, Kirky, if I remember correctly. But of course, KLR will be around for another day. Now, this race will be one of attrition. If you want to know who won out last time, it was actually Herman the German with a pole lap time of a 1:10.562, and he also took fastest lap of a 1:12.566. And your podium was Herman on top, Wouter in second, and actually Quincy in third. That's not a sentence I've had to say very often. No diss towards Quincy at all. It's just very rare I see him on the podium. So at least he knows how to get round the streets of Monaco. There might be a good result in for him yet. But at the moment, of course, I do also have to say that Rush the Series actually got a 5-second penalty for an incident with another driver. So sadly, he was relegated down to 10th. So sadly for him, now 23 points off the actual lead of the championship. He is now in dire straits. He really needs to find a way to get past both Andy Andre and Herman the German as well. So that's where his title fight is at the moment. If we also cut quickly to the constructors, because I didn't go through those, it's Racing Bulls on top, and it is just their race, their championship to lose even. So as long as they finish together, I think that is going to be the constructors all sewn up. Then Aston Martin, Mercedes, Williams, McLaren round out your top 5, followed by Ferrari, who have really been climbing since adding Evil back into the roster. Then followed by Sauber, Haas, Red Bull, rounding out your top 10. And that is a very quick analysis of the Constructors' Championship as it stands right now. And Enzo is just coming on to his first final lap. So let's go on board with him. Of course, in Valtteri's car, very hard to mistake there. So we're coming into turn 1. No heroics into Sandivat, please. And Enzo follows that like a program, like a tourist to a tourist program. I couldn't think of anything to say there. Now we come up through Casino through here. You need to stay on the left for as far as you can. For this right-hander here, does that all okay. To usually avoid the hump there, but the physics don't simulate the floor damage you get from that. Now it's this tight right-hander. Bit wide, missing the apex there, then down into first gear and crank that steering all the way to the left. You'll need to have a good line through this right-hander through here. Now coming down through here, try and meet that apex as far as you can, cruise the whole track. Now it's full throttle through the Monaco tunnel here. Of course, this has been redesigned, well, just a couple of times. Now through the added Nouvelle chicane back in 1986 there. Beat that apex, cut across that sausage curve if you dare. Just make sure to keep your lap validated. Now, this left-hander through here, usually very quick. Now, flat through here as well, through the swimming pool section. Right-hander through there, get as close to the wall as you can. That's a bit too close to the wall on the exit. Now coming through the final couple of turns here, make sure to keep to the apex so that you have a good line through the double right and then the left-hander. Now it's the start-finish straight. Throttle to the metal, pedal to the metal even. DRS open, it's a 1:11.461. And at the moment, now it's Rush the Series on pole position as well. That means that he has done what he needs to do to try and stay within this championship. Remember, 21 points behind. But then Andy Andre there as well. 3 points behind Herman the German coming into the final 2 rounds. Now it sets the pole position time. So Rush the Series has got it all to do as it stands right now. Quincy as well comes up into third, but he's 1.5 seconds off. Then Herman the German splits first and second. Well, first and third now. He is a 1:09.612. So, at the moment, second place, Herman the German, Rush the Series third, and at the moment, it is all looking good for Andy Andre, but not by a whole lot. He's not ahead by much, so this could be tense coming into the quali, coming into the race even, I should say. At the moment, Hover is fourth as well, who wasn't on the podium last time out, but won last time out in Marina Bay. So we'll see how it all goes so far. We have got, and let's make sure once the yellow flag goes away, 13 minutes left in qualifying as of right now. And who's yet set a lap? We've got Pleasant State, Kwan, Traban, Vedaboy, who's of course the reserve in for tonight and all the way from India. So that is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic thing to commentate on an Indian Formula 1 driver. Very rare you get that opportunity nowadays. So 14th place for him, but no lap time set. We're going to set up on, oh, bit into the wall there on the left-hander. And as it stands right now, There you go. A bit of damage to the front wing. He'll probably have to abandon the lap. Or does he stay with it? Oh, that's one of the Mercedes trying to get out of the way, but he wouldn't have been aware of the missing front right end plate there. Loses a bit of downforce. Now onto the start finish straight. What time can he set despite the damage? It's a 1:11.453. So he actually jumps into 6th place. And wow, nearly into the barrier at turn 1 there. No heroics into Sandoval. Well, that was more heroics than necessary, but please reverse it. No, this is going to be a catastrophe if there's someone coming, but no, there's no one on the start finish straight. Vedder boy, you lucky boy. Indeed. But here we go. And now, well, times are now starting to come in. Think of fast. Trugster now comes in. And is now in 2nd place. A 1:09.596. Could he cause an upset to the Apple car? The 3 championship contenders were nicely all together, and now it's all come and done. But Herman is actually on a fly because he's just improved in Sector 2. Kovachka also set a time, but he will have to go again because that was only a 1:16.6. I highly doubt that was representative. So, coming through the final right-hander now as somebody else is coming. Danger David with a 1:10.639 there, up into 6th place. So, Jolly Boy John is also down in 10th, but at the moment, it's a fastest lap from Herman the German. There we go. One says, I can do this, but I can do it better. So Jolly Boy John now coming out on his out lap as it stands right now. Will need to try and help out his teammate. Even though Herman is 3 points ahead, he would love some help. And at least for the constructors, try and find a way of getting ahead of that second Aston Martin as well. Those are the direct championship contenders as it stands right now. It's only now Snake, Quan, Traban, Sinful and Energetic 6 yet to set a time, but we will cut to Energetic 6 almost immediately, approaching the Nouvelle Chicane. I'll also make sure to bring up my Monaco track map so that I don't lose where I am and get names mixed up. Monaco track map, thank you very much. So we've just gone through the Nouvelle Chicane now with the Red Bull driver, Energetic 6. Now the redesigned swimming pool section that Aston Martin needs to get out of the way sooner rather than later. I do think that's probably Andy Andre there. And oh, does a Michael Schumacher from 2006, except actually does get some damage. And now on to the start finish straight for Energetic. That is straight up into 6th place. That's good points if that stays the way it is for the constructors. And that was indeed Andy Andre there. Damage to the front wing, so unable to set another time, and that might mean a change of tyres for him as well. And I think Danger David is now on another flyer, but we will cut to Pleasant State because he hasn't set a lap time. He's just approaching the start-finish line now, 1:09.110. Oh, that's a 1:09 from Snake there. We haven't seen him on the top since Silverstone, which was all the way back in round 1. And now, well, right, Dave. Hello, Scott. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good evening so far, and I hope you enjoy the broadcast. You have just seen Pleasant Snake jump himself up into 5th place as it stands right now, and I do believe Danger David is now on a flyer as well. I think he is, because look at how quick he approaches the Nouvelle Chicane there. Nearly invalidating the lap, but it's all okay. As it stands right now, just coming through that tight left-hander now, but also very high speed now through to the redesigned swimming pool section. And looking okay, keeps the lap validated, but also looks like he's really pushing the Red Bull, but very wide there through the final couple of turns, and he abandons the lap, and I don't blame him, to be honest with you. That was just through Anthony, that was Raskas even, there we go. I don't know if you can tell, you know what this means, and guess what else? I just got Kerbal Space for Grand Prix. I did as well with Free Prime. I did as well. Don't you worry about that. I also got that. Yes, in case you don't know, here's a bit of a shill. Kerbal Space Program is currently free for Amazon Prime members. So there you go. If you want that, go right ahead. But anyway, we are focusing on Formula 1 as it stands right now. And Rush the Series has just started a flying lap. And boy, is this qualifying important for Rush the Series. As you know, got a penalty last time out in Marina Bay, Singapore. And that meant he was relegated to 10th and is now 23 points off of Herman the German. Now, he is the most improved, as we've stated repeatedly, between season 2 and 3, but what it would mean to take the championship into the last race of the season, which will of course be Jeddah. You know, could this finally be Trug's evening? I really do hope it is, just for his sake, because he's been in such good positions. But as you know, he has trouble with the track limits as well, so Truxton will just need to be careful with that. But I don't think that's going to apply to only him tonight. I imagine those that are repeated track limit offenders, like, you know, Jolly Boy John occasionally gets in there as well. Everyone will just have to be careful. Darrell now sets a time and is up into 10th there, and that's one of the V-Cobs getting out of the way of the Mercedes of Rush the Series here. Now, I haven't quite been following the set time, so we'll see how this goes for Rush the Siri. He's approaching the start-finish line now. Energetic just went up into 5th, but Rush the Siri jumps into pole position, and how important will that be? That he is now ahead of Herman. How much time is left in the session? The drivers have done really well to organise themselves. Andy RJ only up by half a tenth. That was not really good enough, so that's only 4 thousandths of a second there. So we'll see how that all goes on. Okay, because they're on a weird launcher. Ah, I see. But anyway, Andy RJ up in 3rd right now, but he really needs pole position. He needs to be ahead of Herman to have the best chance possible going into the final round. He has told me he is strong round Jeddah, but we don't know about Rush the Siri either, and it looks like the top 3 are showing. Oh, it's Andy RJ! Invalidates the time, looking for that extra 10th. And again, another lap is abandoned, but this time for invalidating the actual lap because of track limit. Sinful is also on a time, but that's also been invalidated. He's trying to get his way through traffic. So that we won't be happy with that, that's for sure. Quan and Traban are actually on flyers as we, well, are on outlaps as we speak right now. I do apologize. Who is coming across the line as we speak? This is the next car across the line. We've just had an Alpine go through. That would have been of Daryl, but that was, I think, starting another lap. Let's just take a quick look. No, it wasn't even Daryl. In fact, he is starting another lap, so that might be one of the Williams. That would be Quincy there. In fact, he's just starting an outlap, so he's just come from the pits. But at the moment, it is Daryl who's going to be the one across the line. Traban is next, but he is going to be starting his flyer. And of course, Traban hasn't actually set a time as of right now, and I do wonder how he's taking to that Sauber, considering it has been one of the slowest in real life this season. But at the moment, looking at Daryl, he's just approaching the Nouvelle chicane now, and will be approaching to back even at the next left-hander. So he gets through that cleanly. Still a valid time as it stands, and then all of a sudden I have to undo what I've just said because he invalidates it through the swimming pool section, but got front wing damage on the exit of to back there, and that just shows you how close the walls are. And this race is truly a race of attrition to finish first. First you must finish, which was a saying that my dad came up with. Well, a very long time ago during my childhood. I was actually watching NASCAR, watching Juan Pablo Montoya go around. I can't remember what track it was, but it was like one of the rounds before the playoffs. But anyway, Deja David starting his official flyer right now. Daryl is on 6th lap, old soft. That Merc just sitting there, I know, right, just trying to let everyone through. That was Quan there, actually. And so Tabran was on a lap, but look at Deja David squirreling all over the place, trying to avoid that bump as he goes down through to, where is it? Mirabal. No, it's not Mirabal, is it? Yeah, it's Mirabal. I'm stupid. And there you go. Grand Hotel now, and now through to Portier. Remember, Southport TTS do not raise your points. Yes, it will be disabled, but thank you for the bit, Saiju. As now, Deja David down to 10th after Tabran sets a 9th place time of a 110.536, but David was up on his best by half a tenth, 5 thousandths of a second there. So here we go, approaching. That is to back. All good there. Doesn't go into the wall. And he's 6 tenths up. Look at this. He could be in for the 1.9s here if he could just keep it all together and could pip stake at the earliest opportunity. There's a McLaren just parked up. That is either Pleasant Stake or Kavachka. But here we go now. David approaching the start-finish straight. What's the time? It's a 109.558. Pipping Andy off 3rd position there. What a time from the Red Bull driver. My word. Does his dad really make that up? I swear it was some driver. It could have been some driver, to be fair. If you can look that up and fact check that. I think someone did say it and dad just stole it from him. But anyway, Andy now up a 10th. So already he's back into that 3rd place. You saw him go up a 3 tenths before invalidating the lap on his previous flyer, which sadly got invalidated due to cutting in the swimming pool section. Just pushed the car a little too hard and turning in just a little bit later than he should have. But in the end, he will be assessing that. And with just under 4 minutes to go, this is pairing up to be a important qualifying session for the championship contenders, which, of course, as I remind you, are Rush the Siri, Herman the German, and, of course, who we are looking at right now, Andy, all the way from Romania. And boy, what proudness he has had from his nation, and how proud he has made his nation, especially our resident Romanian Saiju here. But he comes across the line now, and I think this is a really good time. It's one of the best. It's a 109.121. And now, does anybody have a response? Herman on his outlap right now. Rush the series still in the pits. Will he just call that good? Evor as well, your winner last time out in Marina Bay. What's he have? He's got a broken front wing, so this will be no improvement at all. In fact, you can see he's not pushing at all through the Grand Hotel. Now coming down to Portier. So as of right now we have Enzo as well. Just on a flyer himself, down in 13th place, a 1:10.946, and what it would mean to actually finish one of these races, because Enzo has really struggled. A lot of races have ended in a DNF, and I'd just love to see him just get across the line once. Now, of course, as we are around Monaco, as I say earlier, for every one of the drivers, it's a race of attrition, so as long as you keep it out of the barriers, you will be deemed for some good points, because I can't imagine all 19 of tonight's drivers will finish up. And in case if you're wondering where one of those drivers are, it's of course Mr. Walter celebrating his birthday. But Enzo's coming across the line now, and he is 10th place there, so a nice improvement for him. What about Evor still driving on that broken front wing? I don't know if he's even knows he's got it. But anyway, cutting to Herman now, leader of the championship by only a mere few points, 3 to be exact. Hit the corner there, entering the Nouvelle Chicane. Looking good so far, through to back. He'll have one more chance after this lap if it doesn't go his way. We don't see what he's in through sector 1, but my word, that is really aggressive. Out of the swimming pool exit through Raskas here, and now through Anthony Nose. And it's looking a bit squirrely from Herman, and there you go, you can see how much time he lost. And I think that might have also had something to do with the fact that he, as Truckster, has retired, and that was on the exit of Nouvelle Chicane, approaching to back. So a bit of a situation has developed in Truckster. Well, DNFs from the qualifying session. Now, luckily for him, he's got a race session to come, so it might not be his evening in qualifying, but that is still a good time on the board there, as now Andy has invalidated the lap. Rush the Series has now started his outlap as well. He's just coming through the tunnel. And Herman the German now, well, is going to have to try again. He's got one last chance. He just needs to cool everything down, as now Sir Ibo has joined. So Sir Ibo has come in, and it is probably, you take it, I think would make... Oh, bless me indeed. Would take that reserve in the Williams, but he won't have time to set a quali, so maybe not his evening, says Scott. Well, we'll see. That's just a qualifying session. Let's give him a chance. Let's play fair here. The German approaching the end of his cooldown lap, but Andy Andre on another flyer? No, this looks very slow. But here we go now. Rush the Series already invalidated the time. That's it for Rush the Series. He has now got to rely on Herman having a mistake as well. Evor as well will probably be on a flyer. No, that's invalidated as well. So he's had to abandon that. Pleasant Stake is also flying as we speak. It's just gone faster by a 10th than his personal best. Can he take away 4th from the Haas driver? Well, 5th even, I should say, as Danger David still on an outlap. Will he get to the finish line in time? Just about. He starts. So the top 6 or 7 out on a flyer as we speak right now. Evor as well has had to abandon that, but Pleasant Stake will be first across the line. 5th place grid penalty for Daryl for a severe collision with Energetic 6. Pleasant Stake approaching the line now. It's 6th place for him, so he pips Energetic 6, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't quite get 5th there. So now, who are we going to follow? It's Herman the German on the biggest lap of his life. 2/10 up in the swimming pool section. Here we go, approaching Raskas, and Anthony Nose now looking good through here as well. Will the V-Cubs jump up for joy, or will it be heartbreak? For in qualifying for Herman, he approaches the line. It's pole position for the V-Cub driver. The V-Cub team jump for joy. Andy Andre now needs to try and find a way to pass the Herman. Maybe not his evening, says Scott, but it's his Herman's evening for sure, because now Andy has to find a way to pass Herman on track. 1HTG. So it looks like whatever practice the top 3 have put in, because the top 3 contenders are all together on the grid, as now we see Energetic 6 go for a spin round Anthony Nose. But anyway, what a qualifying session that was. I do believe we will now go on a little bit of a break, and boy do I need one, because that was an enthralling qualifying session that had me up, well, had my eyes glued right up until the end. And the top three are as they are in the standings. It could be one hell of a fiery start, chat. But Herman the German is your pole sitter in the Triple Crown of Motorsport, or at least the unofficial Triple Crown of Motorsport. It is Andy second, Rush the Series third, as it stands in your championship. Danger David fourth, Trugster fifth, Pleasant Stakes sixth, seventh Energetic, Evil eighth, ninth is John, Daryl 10th, Enzo 11th, Traban 12th, Quincy 13th, Vedaboy 14th, Kovachka 15th, Quan 16th, Tarkangino 17th, Sinful 19th, and Skid Solo 19th, and of course Sir Ibo taking that Williams seat in reserve. So now I do believe we will have a bit of time to have a little bit of a break, I would think. But I'm not seeing any confirmation of that right now, so we might be just getting straight into it. Or are we? I don't know. Let me just have a look in paddock. Yes, and I just want to say as well, just in the race brief that I'm just looking at right now, no heroics into Sandiva, please. So it looks like everybody seems to be in tune with that. Now, as I look at general chat, I won't go away for too long, but I'm just going to go away for just a few minutes. So I'll just be right back. I'll pop on the synthwave, as I always do. And we'll see how this goes. Now, this may not be the finale, but it is certainly going to be exciting. It is the second to last race of Season 3. Don't go anywhere, because we have not got long to find out who will be on top. Chat, somebody has hit the ready up very early, so we are actually now going to go through the second to last formation lap as it is right now. So just give me a moment now. I was caught a bit off guard there. So just give me a moment, and then we will go through this one more time. Although we might be forced to restart the session. So there you go. All right. So it is Herman the German on pole position, and my God, what that means for his championship. Then it's Andy RJ in second, Rush the Series in third place. Can you believe that? Danger David fourth, fifth is Trugster, Pleasant Snake is sixth, Energetic sixth in seventh, eighth is Evil, last time out a winner in Singapore. Jolly Boy John hoping to make a few positions and secure the Constructors' Championship from V-Carb this week at the very least. Enzo 10th, Traban in 9th, Kicksabers rounding out 10th and 11th there. 12th is Quincy, Vedaboy in 13th, Kovachka 14th, Daryl 15th, Juan 16th, Tarkangino 17th, Sinful 18th, Skid Solo 19th, Sir Ibo 20th. And there you go, those are your 20 drivers for now. But what are the what are the points? Well, going into the feature race, first is 25 points, second 20 points, third is 18 points, then fourth 15 points, fifth 12 points, sixth 10 points, then from 6th to 15th it is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I will now fade out this music because we are about to get underway for the second to last time. I will hide that menu so we have a good view of the lights, but right now, it's Rush the Series needing to get a good start. Good luck to all the guys, says fellow son. I didn't get any bite of my pizza, so this could be an interesting start for me and an interesting commentary. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights on your screen. It's going Monaco, and for the most important start, I don't think Herman got the best of all at all. In fact, no, it was okay, but Rush the Series down the inside here. It all doesn't work out. There's a McLaren in the wall. There's a spin in the background. That is for, I think that is for Quincy. He was spun round at the start there, so he's all the way down in 20th. Daryl is now swapping right now with somebody, and that is with Traban there. So Better Boy up a few positions from his start. That is a great one for him. Pleasant Snake down one himself. Enzo as well with a great start. And the Red Bulls are 5th and 6th right now. Jolly Boy John was also the other guy who got involved, down to 19th. So Herman currently leading the way. And at the moment, Russasiri falling back as of right now. But your top two are all together now between 14th and 15th. Somehow Tarkangino finds a way through at Portier. Oh my word, that is a great move from him. Sinful now struggling. Is now, well, Quan now, well, losing out to, oh wow, as he goes back down the inside there, Quan. But nothing to do through there from Nouvelle Chicane. That was always going to be optimistic if I say so myself. Now for Rush the Series, this is the situation as it stands right now. As now the Red Bulls are swapping with one another at the 5th, and well, it actually remains as it was, but Truckster up into 4th as it stands right now. Herman, of course, fastest up of the race as he was first across the line. But now, as you can see, let's see the tyres, as now we see a pit stop for Quan here. So he must have had damage to his front wing as he was trying to make that dive through the Nouvelle. And that hasn't worked out, obviously. But at the moment, for Rush the Series, he cannot afford to be behind German at the end of this race, because that will mean his championship charge will be all over. And that will not be good news for him. So he needs to find a way past Andy RJ if possible. And that is easier said than done, especially the pace that Romanian has. And, of course, the fact that he is your championship leader for a very good reason. And he will also be concerned. That's a bit wide through there. That might not have been the best line, my guy. Somehow he increases the gap, but still, that is very aggressive from the Romanian. And you can't really blame him either, because if he finishes behind Herman, that's a 5-point loss. And even if... Oh, wow, a bit wide there from Herman as well. But, sorry, from Andy even, as I should say. And look at that, 8/10 lost to Herman. And now Rush the Series looks at him yet again, and he's going to be feeling like he's going to be close and making a lot of mistakes, is the Romanian. But Truckster trying to hold off Danger David here. Danger David is on an absolute roll right now. This is an insane drive from him. He's been so good in this second half of the season. He's been so consistent and just keeping the car out of danger. And that's why he's one of the best drivers right now. And if he could just get that car a little bit higher, I imagine we would have seen him in championship contention. But of course, he was a reserve for a large portion of this season, of course. And Rush the Series starting to drop back. A bit worrying for him, as he's now 2.8 seconds and is now falling into the crutches of Truckster and Danger David. So, of course, for a little bit of stats and statistics for you, you have to be 2 seconds faster than the car ahead in order to overtake round here. And that's just how it shows you how narrow the streets of Monaco are, especially with these wide cars. Now, of course, in 2026, the FIA is looking to reduce the size of them, and we might have overtaking round Monaco again. You never know, but very unlikely as of right now. But at the moment, the action is for 4th place, as Quan is back in the pits and has already been lapped. So Quan having a really miserable weekend, as Andy now sets the fastest up at 1:11.624. Lap 4 out of 39 completed. And let's see where things stand as of right now. Pleasant Snake 5 seconds behind, and like, you know, wherever you look at, people are just struggling to overtake. And you see Pleasant Snake is currently the cork in this bottle for the battle for 8th. He, well, Evil really needs to try and find a way past if he wants to go higher up, or really try and look at the strategy, because there's no realistic way. But Rush the Series starting to struggle. Look, there's his teammate Quan there, just in the foreground of the frame there. I think, yeah, no, that's Quan in front, so he would be in his best interest just to let his teammate pass sooner rather than later. At the moment, as of right now, it's going to be hard to do that. But Energetic 6 with a lightning start off the grid. Well, may have only improved one position. It certainly felt like more. But let's have a look at your biggest winners and biggest losers. So Sir Ibo up 1 position. Tarkangino, Sinful, Skid Solo up 2. Kavachka up 1. As you see, Energetic there going into the wall, but no damage as of right now. Might have just lost a bit of tyre wear, but nothing more. Then some of your bigger winners are Better Boy and Daryl, who are up 3rd and 4th respectively. 3 and 4 positions respectively, I should say. I do apologise. Enzo up 3 as well. And let's see, I think that's about it in terms of biggest improvements. Of course, now, oh my word! What's happened? Oh, Truckster has gone too heroic into Sandoval and has lost 4th position. Truckster now down 1 and is going to be losing off the steer. So now surely Energetic 6 only needs to wait a couple of more corners and then take advantage of that loss. But also, as we've been looking at that, now Adiandre is within a second as we have a caution in sector 3, which will be short-lived. It was just one of the Williams drivers, I think that was Ibo, as of right now, was just kind of having a yellow flag moment in sector 3, but that's all disappeared and we continue racing. Thankfully, no safety cars as of right now. Of course, that's been a very different tone than the past couple of rounds. We've had safety cars in under 10 laps sometimes too, but then as soon as I say that, someone is in the wall, and it's Quan. I do believe he continues on for now, but nearly a safety car moment there, but all avoided. And now Jolly Boy John is making a move for 13th. They're both off the track, Kavachka and Jolly Boy John. I think Jolly Boy was just getting a bit desperate there. Yeah, no, he allows the McLaren back through as Truckster now in the pits, so the Red Bull gets an easy 5th position, and then Enzo up to an easy 6th. So Truckster has undone his evening yet again, and while it's not too late, 34 laps to go, anything can happen. He just needs to stay consistent, keep his head in the game, both literally and figuratively. Ugh. Apparently English is hard all of a sudden, but we're reporting back to Kavachka and Jolly Boy John. Just saw a moment going through the Nouvelle chicane last lap. I wonder what happened there. I wonder if Jolly Boy John just got a bit desperate there, tried to dive it in where it wasn't welcome. And now you can see he's also missing a front left end plate on his front wing, so really not a good day for Jolly Boy John as of right now. Of course, was involved in a turn 1 collision, I believe, with Quincy as well. Quincy also up to 16th and is currently chasing Sinful for trouble. And there you go, Quincy there just coming through the Grand Hotel. And look at Sinful going very wide there, even in fact nearly checking into the Alpine driver there. No fault of his own if that did happen. But now, coming through the swimming pool tunnel, well no, the tunnel, Monaco tunnel even, I should say. Truckster behind them, now pitting in. He's on medium tyres. I don't think those will go to the end as of right now. But we'll see how that goes. At the moment, still struggling. And now the overtakes have started to settle down. And of course, that's means. But look at Jolly Boy John trying to do something in Rascas. McLaren going very wide there, and Jolly Boy John trying to take advantage of any sort of mistake there. The DRS will open. Will he do something heroic into Sandermont? Let's wait and see. Coming up to turn 1 now? No, too far back, so we'll have to wait another day. Maybe coming up through the left and right of this uphill section here. Coming up to Casino now? No. Well, Mazanate Ivan, I should say. Caution sector 1 for a Ferrari there. That was a skid solo. But that was a short-lived yellow flag, so we will continue on as it was. But now that McLaren's starting to struggle with understeer, and in fact, he's got the same damage as the V car behind. And Tarkagino's starting to catch up. And oh, we've had a caution in sector 3, but that's all going to be cleared up. I see absolutely nothing there. All 20 drivers still with us. But right now, the action is here as it stands right now. As Jolly Boy John is trying to find his way past the V-Carb there, and we've had another caution, and that is some Mercedes in the wall, but luckily not enough to bring out a safety car. We continue on, and that's our V-Carb going into the barrier there on the exit of Tabac. My god, it's all starting to happen. It's getting a bit nervy round Monaco. Ruster Sirius dropped right off though. This is not what he would have wanted at all. He's not going to be happy with the situation. Got a caution through sector 1, short-lived again. So nothing to report there, but here we go, down the inside of Sandermont, maybe Jolly Boy John having a look, but nothing to it as of right now. But it looks like this is the more than likely to overtake. Of course, we have Quincy in the background as well. Another caution in sector 2, and I think this is genuine, you know. Quincy has been in the wall, I think. Let's just cut to him. No, he hasn't. I think that's actually Ibo in the wall. Yes, it is. He's going very slowly there, and at the moment might have some damage. Let's try and get a better view of it. I don't have a good view. Oh well, we'll just cut back to the battle we were looking at, because Jolly Boy John did find a way past Kavachka in the end, so we missed that. I do apologise, but right now we are seeing a battle for the lead. And look, we've had more drama. I think that is with Ibo again. It indeed is, skipping the chicane altogether, and he's definitely struggling with the car there. Looks like he's got some sort of damage, but anyway, it is what it is, and that is why the yellow flags are going through sector 2 as of right now, as Truckster gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. And now Quincy, well, that was the Alpine actually skipping the Nouvelle chicane there, and Quincy was able to take advantage of that, but he's also missing some end plates as well. The front left, like Jolly Boy John and Kavachka, which are a few places in front of him. You can see the understeer there, but now Andy RJ is looking like he's getting set up for a move on the leader, which is, of course, Herman the German. Herman was worried coming into this round about Andy's pace because he knows that Andy has been faster than him throughout the season, but Herman is on top because of his consistent finishes. And at the moment as well, Andy has been on raw pace, the better one of these two drivers. At the moment, Herman has only got one win, but that was only because of a removed 10-second penalty in Baku for what I believe was ignoring blue flags, but that was a glitch of the game. Oh, look at that. 2 cars on the exit. That was Quincy and Sinful there. Near Herman, nearly going into the back of them. But luckily, Herman reacted in time to keep out of the way. But Andy at the moment looking like he's trying to set up a move, but nothing to it as of right now. He's now starting to, Herman's starting to build a cushion yet again to the Aston Martin driver behind. We cut now. Let's see who else is battling, but this is the closest one on track so far, unless if you count 10th place, as now Daryl is trying to make his way past our debutant here. What a place to make your debut and make a few positions. He's made up 4 positions so far, but Daryl as well could be on a really nice drive. Also up 5 positions, so could make that 6 if he finds a way past the Indian driver. At the moment, nothing to it as it stands right now. And look at how close Andy has gotten to Herman yet again, but I do believe Herman is stronger when it comes to straight lines. Skid Solo is now in the pits as well. He should be going from hard to medium, and he's done exactly that on lap 10 out of 39. So we might get lapped by these two who are currently running line astern and have done since the beginning of the race. Mr. Siri, though, is looking like we are saying goodbye to him at the end of this. Championship hopes might all be over, unless if these two get involved in the collision. Quincy as well makes up a position thanks to Skid Solo's pit stop, so definitely lapped by now. But Andy Andre still finding no way past. We'll cut back to the battle for 9th place as of right now. Well, if you saw that there very briefly, Vedaboy was a bit wide there entering the swimming pool exit and has had a bit of a moment coming into Raskas. Gets it all together in time for Anthony Nodes, but will be vulnerable into turn 1 from Daryl. He's got the slipstream and the DRS, but I don't know if the straight's long enough to have a go. Vedaboy does defend to the inside. This will leave him vulnerable at the exit of Sandevot, and indeed does, because now Daryl is side by side in the uphill section of the track. Through Rivage, and now through Mazinate, they go side by side. Daryl round the outside. Gets that move done. What a move from the Alpine of Daryl. We now have a caution in Sector 2, but that will be short-lived as we continue on. And what a move that was. Daryl there showing you how it's done. Might have a bit of front ring damage for the pleasure, but what a move that was. We'll now see Evil try and battle Pleasant Streak for 8th position, and Evil losing a lot of time behind the McLaren here. At the moment, as Jolly Boy John now also makes a move on the kickstart of Chopran there. Jolly Boy John really starting to make his way up the grid despite that damage he has got. Caution in Sector 3, short-lived yet again, so don't worry about that. That might be just for a slow-moving vehicle. As Evil gets a 3-second time penalty. Caution in Sector 1, someone's been in the barrier. It's Sir Ibo again. And that, he's still going to continue on, but has been a constant point of worry. But wait, Quincy might be in the wall now as well. Well, no, he's just overcooked it. Going into Mirabal there, so he's all okay. Now going for Grand Hotel. I think he's got damage yet again. Bit of an unfortunate race for him. Kovachka now in the pits as well, so that's all the end for him. But I think Quincy is just trying to let everyone through. Yeah, that's what he's doing there. So we'll just cut back to a battle for the time being, and Jolly Boy John approaching Vedaboy now, as Vedaboy was overtaken by Daryl earlier on in the lap. And now Jolly Boy John might be looking to have a go. We've got a yellow flag again, just for slow-moving vehicles. So that's just lap traffic. I wouldn't worry about that too much. 28 laps to go. It is still Herman the German and Andy Andre, your top 2. But Russ the Siri, has he been saving something in the tank? Is he still tyre saving? He's got Danger David behind, so we'll have to be careful. And Danger David getting a bit of a tank slapper on there. He has DRS. Can he try something into turn 1? Not close enough. Really needs to be alongside the driver in front there. I'd rather be B2 here. HTG vulnerable to the undercut. I do agree with that as well. Let's please remember that if you do pit first, then you would be, well, would it be in best interests of either Herman or Andy to pit first, though? Because you're then behind traffic. You're behind Rush the Siri then. And what if Rush the Siri goes long? He wouldn't allow you through. and neither would Danger David. These are the two we're watching battle right now through the Grand Hotel, coming up to Portier right now through the Monaco tunnel. Danger David getting a bit sideways, and there's an Alpine in the background getting very sideways indeed. That was simple there, losing a position to skid solo. So there you go, that was who that was we were observing. They're just getting a bit sideways on the exit through the tunnel. Now down through the Nouvelle Chicane, nothing to fight back with. And also we'll have to allow the Red Bull through, as he is not part of their race. He is just trying to make his way through and lap the cars. Yellow flag yet again, but I don't think that's for anything important. As now Danger David is the closest he's ever been to Rush the Siri. Rush the Siri doesn't want this. He's trying to hang on to third and potentially try and extend these medium tyres right up until the top two need to pit. And I think that's the strategy. He doesn't want Danger David involved in this at all. And we'll see how this goes. But I think what Rush the Siri wants to do, extend these medium tyres for as long as they possibly can go. Wait for the top two to pit first, and then potentially try and hold them up as well and go fast at the end. But also the top two might be aware of that themselves, so it's going to be, when we see pit stops, as Venapoy now in the pit, so potential damage for him. Jolly Boy John has dropped all the way back to 14th, so he's had a moment as well somewhere earlier on. So apologies for missing that, but he is now behind Tark and Gino, and Truckster has got ahead of him as well. So not been a good day for Venapoy either. He was doing very well up until this point, but he might also be coming in because that's what the strategy calls for, and he is on the hard tyre. So that might be right, and here we go, Andy Andre into the pits, and we have a really important pit stop right now, because what does Herman the German decide to do? Does he see that the top two, well, the second place, which will eventually go to Rush the Siri, is coming and will be in front of the Aston Martin driver by the time he gets out of the pits? And Danger David as well is right there with him, getting a bit squirrely on the exit of Anthony Nose there, unable to have a go at the Mercedes driver. So now Rush the Siri up to second, and does he hold up Andy Andre? But there's the Red Bull of Energetic 6. This might work out horribly for Andy Andre here. He has fallen behind not one, not two Red Bulls, but also his championship rival, Rush the Siri. So here we go. The complex of the race changes again. So right now, Andy needs to try and find a way through without damaging his front wing, but this is now the disadvantage he's left himself with. And here we go. Would you rather have been the undercut? Because now he's really done himself dirty, to be honest with you. Although the medium tyres are struggling, remember you need to be 2 seconds faster than the car in front of you in order to get past. And Andy Andre there having a go. Oh, it's gone off! Oh my word! And there is drama point number one, because now Andy Andre has had contact either with the Red Bull driver or the barrier at the Nouvelle Chicane. And there we go. Andy Andre in trouble. Well, Rush the Siri will have heard about that and has gone into the pits. This might be the pit stop of his life, which saves him from being irrelevant in the championship. Where is Andy Andre? He's just approaching Anthony Notes now. Where is the Siri? No, it's not enough. It's not enough. So the Aston Martin driver does indeed get ahead of the Merc. But now the Red Bull of Energetic as well has stopped. But I am sure those tyres will have incurred some sort of damage. And Rush the Siri, well, won't be able to hold up Andy Andre any longer. And Andy Andre approaching onto the back of Enzo. This is not what he would have wanted. He's lost the rear. He must have aero damage from that contact with the barrier, because look at how wide he's going. It must be the dirty air effect as well. I don't consider that either. Caution in sector 3 for what I believe was I think an Alpine or a Haas. But we continue on, as always. Truckster is now pitted and is on the soft tyre, so he's definitely trying to hope for a safety car or something like that. Herman now in the pits. He's heard what's happened, and Andy Andre still behind Enzo. Enzo on 15-lap old hards. Of course, he's yet to pit. That's why he's so far up the order. But this will only be helping Rush the Siri, I would imagine. Now Herman is exiting the pits, and Danger David taking advantage of this as well. But there you go. There's Herman out of the pits. And is well in the lead. Andy Andre's undercut doesn't work. As now he gets past Enzo at long last, he says. But Enzo now has really got an advantage, as is Danger David. Is he in front of Rush the Siri? Just about. That was very close indeed. But at the moment now, Andy RJ with it all to do, and on 2-lap older tyres as well. Chat, what do you think to that? 23 laps to go. Complexion of the race changes yet again. Jolly Boy John as well, starting to make up positions. Hasn't replaced that front wing either, and I really can blame him. He seems to be doing well despite the damage. Of course, we've had no safety car in Monaco, which is kind of a blessing in of itself. So the racing has been allowed to unfold naturally. We've had our pit stop windows for the championship contenders, but David might prove to be a thorn in Rush the Series side before long, as we have a caution in sector 3. Will be short-lived indeed, as I think that's just a lapped car trying to get out of the way of Tark and Gino. Then that's just coming into turn 1. Sir Ibo with a 3-second penalty for track limit warnings. We have seen those come through thick and fast. Evil, Trugster, Kovačka, Vetaboy, Quincy, Quan, and Ibo all have earned track limit penalties for going off at the white line. And now Andy RJ has a 5-second gap to make up, but it looks like as things are panning out, we are saying goodbye to Rush the Series in this championship charge. And what a contender he has been. It was just unfortunate how Singapore went for him, as Danger David now gets a 3-second penalty for track limit violations himself. Caution in sector 2 for a slow-moving Haas vehicle there. So that's a very interesting development there. Just having to get out of the way of lap traffic as well. So that's very unfortunate, but I think he's actually gone and had a moment, so don't read too much into that. As you look at that angle for the Grand Hotel, you saw Enzo in the foreground of your frame there, and Rush the Series as well in the background. So Rush the Series, that shows you how close he is, and how iconic this street circuit is. Daryl is now up into 9th, Jolly Boy up into 10th. Well, wow, that was a bit closer than he would have liked, but still, he is now up into 10th position and has made the undercut work successfully. Truxter is out! Truxter is out! Oh no! His Ravening has gone from great to absolutely forgettable yet again. Truxter out of the race. What does he have to do to bring luck his way? And now we'll have to wait and see going into Jeddah next week. But at the moment, he would have been a strong contender if it wasn't for these strings of DNFs. We are now, well, everybody is panicking. Nobody, I think, wants a safety car. I think this would only really benefit Rush the Series and Danger David at this point in time. But my word, what does Trugster have to do to have something go his way? And we are refused a safety car. Now, of course, it is hard for a safety car to come out in these streets. And, of course, I do actually need to say, as we do have a bot right here, so if one of the moderators can get on that, or I will, in just good time, we will be... I think somebody's already done it. I don't know, though. No, no one's done it. Oh, well, it is what it is. Anyway, Rush the Series, currently 4th, chasing down Enzo. Really needs to try and get past Enzo as quickly as he possibly can. 15-lap fresher tyres compared to the Kick Sauber in front. And, well, it's not going his way. He doesn't have the pace to keep up with the top 2 as it is right now. Maybe the switch to the hards will be a different story. We can look at the interval, or a different kind of interval to the leaders. I can probably see what is going on here. Let's just have a look to the leader. Currently 15 seconds as it stands right now. But we'll see how that all goes. 2.1 seconds out. Oh, wow, bit of a kick there from the Mercedes driver as now Quan, his teammate, gets a 3-second penalty. I think that's his second. Yeah, I was right first time around. And 5 stops as well, I think that says. Yeah, 5 stops for Quan in this race. So that tells you how much of a miserable evening that's been. But now, Daryl up into 8th thanks to Pleasant Steak making his pit stop. And Jolly Boy John, a free position for him. And that, I think, would mean, as things are right now, he would, well, VCOB would win the Constructors. They are outscoring the Aston Martin as it stands right now, or the Aston Martin team. Herman as well, with fresher hard tyres as well. I can't see Andy getting past. It would take an absolute miracle. But, and, well, he wouldn't be comfortable going into the final round. He would need something dramatic to happen to Herman. And we are starting to see, as well, that Herman, in these final few races, has Danger David into the wall there. At the exit of Anthony Notes, we continue on, but that is damage to the front wing there. And that will be very unfortunate for him, but that's a bit of pressure off of the Mercedes driver now. So Rush the Series with free reign to overtake and more the Kick Sauber driver. No pressure at all, but oh, we can see how hard he's driving on those hard tires. Bit squirrely coming out of Casino there. And that's just what he's been doing all race, I think. This just shows you how much this title means to him. And how he's just he's come on so much since Season 2 as well. Had an absolutely great season. But it's just a shame as things stand right now with 19 laps to go. So we have a caution in Sector 2 for another Haas over there. That's just on the exit of, I believe, Grand Hotel. Now coming through to Portier. Tarkangina continues on, but missing a front wing end plate as Danger David gets another penalty there for track limits. So his evening going great, now turning into absolutely, well, nearly forgettable. Not as bad as it could be, but Danger David just really needs to be careful and sort himself out. Enzo now in the pits, so he doesn't hold up the Mercedes driver by much, knows what's going on and decides to play ball for Rush Siri, and that will be a relief. But at the moment, the top three on even tyres as of right now. Does Rush Siri have more pace on these hards? We will soon find out. But Danger David back into the pits, of course, thanks to a damaged front ring. And now Enzo has a free 5th place. And all he needs to do now is get up to the back of Energetic 6, and that's 4th place. And what a result that would be, considering he did not finish last time out and has had a string of DNFs. What that would mean for the Kick Sauber outfit. Now, of course, Taban is a reserve, and I must also stress that the reserve drivers do not score points for the constructors. So that's the only thing there you'll need to be careful of. As Daryl gets past Taban there, I was talking about Taban as well. This really is racing for himself, and Jolly Boy John getting past him as well. John has had an excellent drive, all things considered. Now up 1 on his starting position, and is hunting down Daryl for good measure as well, and could actually find himself in 6th place, which would about confirm the constructors as VCAR finish. Right now, they have outscored the Aston Martin. Enzo cooking, absolutely a great observation there, as we've had a moment here. We've had a moment, I think it was with Better Boy. Hang on, what's happened? Better Boy, virtual safety car deployed, and drama ensues. Could Rush Siri take advantage of this? Is that a bit deliberate from Better Boy? I hope not. We do have reduced damage, but what has Rush Siri decided to do? Not pitted, so he might have actually been too close to the pit lane. Might have been past the pit lane before the virtual safety car was deployed there. That might have been a missed opportunity, but I don't know if he would have time now. Could he make another lap? Better Boy needs to get underway, which he has done, so the safety car, virtual safety car even, should be ending soon. Now, in case if you don't know what a virtual safety car is, it is when you have to follow a delta. The race isn't totally neutralized like a safety car would. It would bunch the pack up together. But a virtual safety car means you follow a timed delta, and then you just kind of keep the gaps as they were. And Andy Andre into the pits. Will that be a good pull? I don't know if the virtual safety car ends now. He is vulnerable to Rush Siri behind. I think he'll be okay. All things considered, yes, he'll be okay by now, because Rush Siri just exiting into Raskas right now. So yeah, Andy RJ will still be ahead of Rush Siri, all things considered, but hopefully this doesn't go wrong for Andy, because he will not be happy if Rush Siri is able to catch up. But now Andy RJ has given himself the best possible chance as VSC has ended, but oh, Andy was a bit slow there to get underway. I wonder if he was just a bit above the delta, and well, very lucky if he was, because that could have all gone wrong. But now Rush Siri can see the Aston Martin driver in front, be thinking, how the hell have I done that? That's because he's pitted, Rush, so don't worry yourself too much. Just try and get past. Enzo is still cooking. He's trying to catch up to Energetic 6. Lost a bit of time there, but that won't matter. He should be able to get that back up, and as long as he gets underneath that 6-second window, he's all good. Quincy as well has actually had a decent drive, all things considered. Drive through for Skid Solo as well. He's Quincy up into 13th as it stands right now. 3-second time, well, track limit penalties, but all going well for him. He's 32 seconds in front of Vedaboy, and Sinful as well has made a position, but I think that Skid Solo serving his drive through as it stands right now. Yes, he's just coming through the pit lane now, so I think that was because of a VSC infringement. And here we go. So at the moment, the closest battle on track is between Pleasant Snake and Evil here. This is for 8th position. Evil with a track limits penalty already. So really, this doesn't matter. He shouldn't really hang on to this too much. I think he will just want to increase the gap to Darrell behind, who is in 10th. But at the moment now, with 15 laps to go, it looks like this race has kind of come to an end as we have somebody in the wall at Raskas, but it all continues on. I think that was one of the Williams. I think that was Ibo there. It certainly was. So now cut back to this battle for 8th, which is the closest on track as of right now. Simple is also catching up to the back, but of course, Vanderboy has... Oh! Missing front wing end plate there! Crashing into the back of Evor, and that undoes all of that. So that was unfortunate for him. But at the moment, Enzo now is underneath, well, is on the bubble of that 6-second gap to Energy. Well, no, because he... Sorry, no, wrong Red Bull driver. Danger David is now behind, so it's Jolly Boy John who needs to find a way into that 6-second window, but he's on older hard tyres now. Danger David doing the right thing and pitting, trying to secure 6th place. And that would honestly be good for the Drivers' Championship, but Enzo, with a bit of work to do still, got to find 3.2 seconds with 14 laps to go at the line. And you can see how spread out the grid is. Look at that, 15 seconds behind. Andy Andre is now with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:11.2, I think that was. Don't quote me on that, though. Enzo from P10 to P4 would be outstanding. Hopefully not jinxing him, says Scott. You know what? This is coming to an exciting end, at the very least, because now Andy Andre has the tyre offset, took advantage of that VSC, unlike Rush the Siri. But this could still, I mean, it only takes one little mistake, because you know what this means for Andy Andre as well. If he finishes second going into Jeddah, that means he is 8 points behind, and even if Herman finished second and Andrew wins, it would not be enough. And even if, in fact, actually, if I bring up the points for you right now, third place only guarantees you 18 points. So if we just get rid of fastest lap for just a second, which Andy would need, that would be the only way to guarantee him the championship, because Andy would have more wins. And hopefully it works like that, as we have a yellow flag very briefly. But there you go, all gone. Now 13 seconds, so here we go. 40 laps, a 1:10.573 from Andy. He is on a charge, and he knows what's at stake. But Pleasant Snake has caught back up to the back of Evo. Can he at least try and have another go? At least try and do it more sensibly. The McLaren, another McLaren, which is Kavacha, just getting out of the way of some lap traffic. I do believe that was Rush the Syria. And now we have a caution in sector 2 as well. That is, I think, for Ibo, but Ibo continues on. And what would a safety car mean for the top 3? The top 3, as it stands, is how it is in the championship, but Rush the Siri is 23 points off the lead, and I don't see anything happening to Herman, to be honest with you. He has driven an excellent race and has just kept Andy behind, and it would just go all wrong. But at least Andy has fastest lap, so the deficit would be reduced to 4 points, which would mean 7 points deficit going into Jeddah next week. Andy gained 7 seconds. I think he did, you know. Does there any damage to Herman? No, I think that might have just been the lap traffic there, just causing a bit of an issue. As Andy... Oh, no! What has happened to Andy? What is he doing? Soft tyres? Oh, my goodness, he's lost his front wing! Oh, no! Andy's undone it! The chat curse has come down on Andy, and now he's behind Rush the Siri. Oh my word! Andy RJ's race has gone completely wrong. They haven't replaced the front wing either. And now he's behind a lap McLaren. That will be of Kavachka, as Kwan retired from the session as well. I think he might have crashed. Yeah, he's crashed it just on the exit of the swimming pool chicane approaching Raskas. Well, if Birch VSC be... Well, so I thought something would be deployed at the very least, but no! Well, Andy Andre is having a miserable place. No wing change for him either. It's over! But Andy Andre, well, I say it's over. It's not, but for Rush the Series, it's still over for him. As it stands right now, it would now... Let's see, it would go down to a 6-point deficit, because Andy has the fastest lap of the race. So it's a 9-point deficit going into the final round. And you know what? Herman to pit for final lap, fastest lap even. That's not a bad idea, but the only issue he would have is Rush the Siri behind. If there was anything to be gained from that, Rush the Siri will be trying to stay within that window. That's the only problem, but he should be far enough back, so Herman just needs to be careful. If he can pit for fastest lap and increase that deficit, I doubt now Andy would be able to keep up with that. So we'll see how it goes, but Rush the Series, of course, Herman will be aware of that with 11 laps to go. And drama is spilling out, but at the moment we are still looking at, well, the battle for 8th is closest as Quincy has now crashed it on the exit. Oh my word! Safety car deployed! Incredible! Well, if Rush the Series now has his lifeline, he's got it now, and so does Andy. Oh, wow, what a point to bring it out. 10 laps to go at the line, and we have it all to play for. Going into the final round next week, this could be an important stop. Herman goes on to the softs. Rush the Series surely has to come in. Andy surely has to come in and fix that front wing damage. He needs every chance he can get. But at the moment now, safety car deployed. Thanks to the admin of SSRL, Quincy. Oh, you're going to have so much to answer for. Rush the Series into the pits. Andy into the pits as well. It won't matter that they've swapped it. But, oh my goodness me, they've also had to swap their wing. Oh, how have they? I don't know. It's all getting a bit tense here in Monaco. No, Andy remains in front, but only just. There was also Enzo. Oh no! Used medium tyres for Andy as well. Well. A twist in the tail has occurred. Rush the Series has a chance now. But does he have lap traffic to deal with as well? They will not be allowed through. This is not how the safety car. There's 3 cars for lap traffic in front of Rush. Well. Drama at the last. Daryl up to 7th. Jolly Boy John takes the opportunity to replace his wing at long last. And I think he will come out in 8th, or should do. Depends on... No, yeah, because Pleasant Snake has now taken that position. Well. Lap traffic is also going to be involved in all of this. It's kicked off. Enzo for the win. Says Scott a bit... Well, he has got a few cars to pass and a championship to ruin if that's the case. But you know what? It's going to be very interesting. Will the lap cars be forced to pit? That would be my question. To get out of the way, you know what? If I was the race director, I would force the lap drivers into the pits right now to get out of the way. If that was me, I would try and follow as closest to the rule book as I could get it and get the lap cars out of the way so that we could have something on. But that's just me and my entertainment factor speaking. Of course, nobody here has TeamSpeak, and they can't communicate with each other because Quincy, as a rule, has said no chatting during safety car periods. And of course, the AI cannot be trusted with that. Well, chat, if we've got a grandstand finish, as Energetic 6 has a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, and what a result that would have been. Well, and Enzo as well as a... Oh, no! Enzo! Oh, no. So it's got to surely be Danger David up into 4th. Enzo for the win is surely off the table now. And there you go. That is the situation up front. Will the lap cars be forced to get out of the way? No, they will not. I promise you that. Well. What an ending we have for you here in Monaco. We are going to have one of the most grandstand finishes that I've ever commentated on in my entire life. We'll protest the right to get that Enzo pen removed. There you go. The fans go on strike in SSRL. That's the main headline. That's going to be in the papers tomorrow morning. That's for sure. At the moment now, so Herman the German still leads and has led every lap of this Grand Prix so far. Rush the Series 2nd place, now ahead of Andy. But he really wants to get past the lap traffic because he knows what's at stake here. He wants the lap traffic out of the way. Oh my goodness me! The Williams gets out of the way! What an absolute Chad move from the Williams there. Gets off track limits, gets out of the way, has heard what has happened and what we've said in the commentary box. Here we go. Will the other two cars do the same? I think they're going to. I think they are going to let them through. As it is right now, I'm just trying to see if Quincy has had any say in the Discord. I don't think he has. No, I don't see anything being said as of right now. Quincy's currently on mute and deafen in the general VC. I wonder if he is trying to make sure those two drivers in front get out of the way so that we can have an enthralling final lap. The pack is currently all caught up. So we'll see what happens. At the moment, I'm just trying to see if they do try and get out of the way. No, they don't. So the Alpine and I think it's the Kick. No, it's the Alpine. Yeah, no, it's the Alpine and the Kick. I was right first time. Not getting out. Oh, political power has now been banned. Safety car in this lap. So it's sadly too late to do anything. Unfortunately, we have 2 lap cars in the way, but will they get out of the way quickly, I should say. Thank you for whoever banned him. I can't see who that was. And so we'll give very short answers during post-race interviews to protest. Okay, thank you very much there, Enzo. But here we go. It is now Russ Nassiri to keep his championship alive as the restart gets underway. But look at that. The lap cars get out of the way very quickly indeed. Thank you very much, Russ. Oh, no! It's all gone to waste. It's over for Russ Nassiri. Goodbye to your championship. Hello to a win from Herman the German. And I saw what they were doing. That is a stupid rule in the game. I really will not be happy with that. That is criminal. That is really criminal. I am sorry. This game needs some work, man. I'm just going to be honest about that. That has robbed us of a great ending. That is just as Enzo has now fallen off as well. Well, we have been robbed of a grandstand finish here in SSRL through no one's fault, but it looks like it's going to be Andy RJ and Herman the German that will take us into the race. Yeah, that'll probably be removed post-race. I hope it is, for sure. I really do hope it is, because I saw what was going on there. And hopefully Quincy will do the right thing and remove them post-race. But either way, in terms of a grandstand finish, it's been robbed. And now Russell Series starting to fall back from the car in front and is now gapping Andy RJ. It's been a nightmare stint. This game is not esports ready. It is not by any means of the stretch. And that's just being honest here. Look at what's just happened. Can Russell Series actually try and catch up to Herman and just get that 10 seconds out of his head? It is now part of the mentality of trying to get in front, because he needs any sort of luck to go his way and go to the stewards and get that 10-second penalty removed post-race. It's going to be a very interesting end to the race. It's going to be an interesting discussion regardless. But either way, Energetic could be on for a podium here. No, he won't. He's got 13 seconds, so Danger David could be on for a podium. But post-race, that will surely be removed, I would imagine, and he might even drop back just to make sure the results stay as they are. But look at Andy RJ dropping further and further back and falling into the crutches of the Red Bull behind, and what that would mean for Herman as we go into the final round. And now with 5 laps to go at the line, 3.1 seconds separate the V-Carb and the Mercedes, and the Mercedes is catching, but not at a quick enough rate to be an influence on Herman as it stands right now. Bit of a mess up through Sandoval, but now Pleasant Stake, and it looks like here Jolly Boy John, Pleasant Stake and Daryl are in a battle, but Jolly Boy John with a penalty to boot, and that's 10 seconds for ignoring yellow flags. Evor has 26 seconds to boot. I'm sure this will be removed. That's a read. Why does the Astronaut got lots of 40 in the soap? I got 77 because these are custom numbers, my guy. These are custom numbers. Don't worry about it. As Tarkangino has now made a move on Sinful, but it matters very little, as the Danger David has made a mistake. And that might be... Yes, but these numbers are not possible. Yeah, no, these are custom numbers for the league, my guy. These are custom numbers online, which are in the league. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. I just don't know. But Russell Siri has sadly begun to drop off already, and that did not take long at all. Trabana's crashed into. Where is that? That is the Nouvelle Chicane. Do we have safety car number 2? We will not. So we will continue racing as it stands right now. The yellow flag gets removed, but Russell Siri has now fallen into the crutches of Andy Andre. Well, energetic. Well, it should all be removed. Yes, yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's not possible for games to choose number 40 or 4, anything. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know then. You'll have, someone will have to come in and let us know how that is happening. Because I know fellow son has the number 69 as Tarkangino has now crashed out. Virtual safety car deployed. Well, well, well. There has been an absolute, well, I think there's a traffic jam somewhere around the track. I think it was Ibo and Venaboy there, so a bit unfortunate there to be involved, but virtual safety car will just bring things to a halt for now. But you know what, Herman might just be my driver of the day. He has done an excellent job so far in this race, and coming to the end now has been relatively mistake-free during the time he has led. He has had an absolutely excellent Grand Prix. And now has a relatively nice... Well, we'll have a relatively nice gap going into the final race. So it's all gone very well for him. Virtual safety car should be ending any moment. As we cleared the debris. As Andy now with a 3-second penalty. Well, well, well. Russell Siri has guaranteed himself second position at the very least. But now Energetic 6 will be... Well, and now as well, you've got to think about... Well, no, Danger David won't be in consideration. He's got 6 seconds. So Energetic and Andy should have this removed by the end of the race. But now he's in all sorts of trouble. The Romanian losing his composure towards the end of the race. And all of a sudden now, it all becomes interesting again. And now as well, Daryl and Pleasant Stake will be our most improved drivers, I do think. But well, it will be Daryl as ours. Caution in sector 1 for an Aston Martin, and Better Boy into the barrier, missing his front wing. He's had a good race up until this point, but it's all become undone. However, considering all these pens working out the final classification, I don't envy him either, to be honest with you. Even as a commentator, it's hard work, as Emor and Enzo get 3-second track limit penalties for their trouble. Energetic 6 unable to keep up, but now Rush Siri has surely guaranteed himself second position thanks to Andy's track limits. But at the moment, Herman is now on the penultimate lap. And what a drive this has been, reminiscent of Season 1 in SSRL. He has had the Grand Prix of his life, and when he needed it too. It has been an absolute pleasure to watch as Fenderboy now retires from the session. No safety car will be called out, of course. So what was, I believe, I don't know, I can't count at the moment. There's been so much happening, but at the moment now, Andy Andre needs to try and find a way past and build a 3-second gap with 2 laps to go. 1 lap to go at the line. Oh, well done. Oh, well done. I came in near the end of the stream, and it has been an exhilarating Grand Prix up until this point. It has just been one to watch. Drama in every stage, but more importantly for the championship, Herman is now going to be starting the final lap, coming through Raskas now. Whatever he has done, he has earned this second win on legitimate grounds. He is going to now start the final lap, and it is a lap of honor. He was robbed of the well, I say he was robbed of Season 2. Andy RJ came in Season 2, robbed the championship from the hands of Herman the German, but Herman has come back with a strong resolve this year, and he is now coming around the track of all tracks. The king of Monaco is gonna rise again. Won here last time out as Tarkangino leaves, and now is approaching the final lap with a cushioned advantage going into Jeddah. This couldn't have gone any better for the V-Carb driver, and I do believe as Jolly Boy John makes an overtake on the McLaren of Pleasant Stake, and Evil takes advantage of that as well. Well, it will be a most improved, I think, for Daryl. So Daryl in touch for driver of the day, but Herman has driven the drive of all drives. Jolly Boy John has had a mistake as well. But it's Herman the German we are looking at because he is coming across Raskas now. He is your second winner from Monaco. And he will rise because he has an exceptional cushion. He wins here in Monaco. Rush the Siri will be second. It's Andy Andre in third. Energetic 6 in fourth. Danger David jumps to second, but I can't imagine that will stick. Darryl will come home in sixth position. Pleasant Snake, seventh place. So what a drive from him as well. Up one position, but as well, with the penalties, well, we'll have sixth position after all of that. So not bad at all. Your unofficial podium, Herman, with an absolute dominant win there. Held off pressure from Andy Andre and really had nothing else to worry about. The strategy was an absolutely fantastic call there. Let's see if we can just get a word with our drivers. Go on a moment. So let's just see. I'm just going into the SSRL Discord now, just trying to find my way there. I will surely have some interviews lined up, but Herman with an emphatic win. Monaco indeed. So there you go. And what a cushion he takes into the final round, because if I work this out correctly, he is now... who actually got fastest lap in that race? I didn't actually catch that. We'll have to have a look at the podium. We'll have to have a look after the podium celebrations. But what a drive from the V-Carb. We should have Danger David, so it will be Herman, Danger David, and Rush the Siri in the podium. But of course, in terms of a championship charge, we are going to be saying goodbye to Rush the Siri. But that doesn't take away from the excellent season he has had. One of the most improved drivers, and well, he's got a lot to show for it. He has confirmed third position in the championship, and that is thoroughly deserved. What a drive from the Mercedes driver. But what a championship finale we're going to have between the Aston Martin and the V-Carb driver. V-Carb do also, I believe, confirm the Constructors' Championship. I don't believe there is any way for them to win with the deficit that they now incur. Let me just check the points standings one more time and just add them up very quickly. Yeah, no chance at all now. So V-Carb are your Constructors' Championships. Constructors' Champions as of right now. Congratulations to the V-Carb outfit. And we do not see who gets fastest lap, but not that it will matter as of right now. I'm just going to check if anyone's in my commentary box for interviews. As of right now, no, but I will now undeafen my commentary box and let them know I am ready to receive some interviews. And there you go. They all come pouring in. We'll just wait for one more. But as we do have the winner of the race right here with us, Herman the German. What a drive that was. An absolutely mature drive. And even when Andy Andre was pressuring you, you just didn't fold at all. How do you feel? King of Monaco yet again.
Yeah, very happy, obviously. Didn't put a foot wrong this weekend. Didn't have a crash and quali. Did not brush the wall too heavy to get a front wing damage or anything. A bit worried about the calculations for the fuel once again, because obviously there was no safety car for the first part of the race compared to the last 2 weeks. And yeah, somehow I still use more. I don't know if I did find more pace on the mediums compared to what I tested on the hards in practice, but yeah, was a bit managing how to run the whole race without running out of fuel. And even when Andy found back into my DRS window, I still managed to have the 2 heavy braking zones after the tunnel and into the first turn to lift a bit earlier to save some over the whole distance. And then obviously when the VSC came, I was good. And yeah, obviously, yeah, that half spin I pitted immediately as a reaction. I was also waiting what Rush and David were doing behind, and then after that, obviously would have liked it to have a bigger gap there without the last safety car, but all in all, just I have to say faultless for me. Was crazy race, and I'm glad my work under the week paid off.
Absolutely, like, you know, you're, as you say, like, you know, you must have practiced that really hard. Can you just tell us how many hours of practice you actually put into preparing for that race?
I have to guess, but I'd say at least 8
Oh,
hours.
not bad at all
So
there.
some, uh,
But anyway, so I'm not quite sure how the calculations will work out because obviously I do believe Andy will appeal that 10-second penalty. In case you're wondering what happened was lapped cars were just trying to get out of the way, and in the end, it
mhm.
was a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So Russia Siri, I imagine, will have his removed, and we'll come to Russia Siri in just a second. Obviously though, but the thing is as well with Andy Andre's track limits penalty, that means he has solidified third place essentially. So
Yeah,
if we remove fastest lap as it stands right now, I don't know if you got it or if
Andy got it.
Andy got it. So that means that is a 6 point deficit now, so which has been lost to you. So it goes from 3 points to 9 points going into Jeddah in the final round. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, Andy stated before that the last two races, including Monaco, would be one of the strongest. I think there was more room for improvement for me
Hmm.
in for Monaco, so I try to got that done with practice. But Saudi, I just struggle a bit more with that on the general level because in
Hmm.
Monaco braking and a bit of the bumps are tricky, but the curbs in on most of the high speed turns in Jeddah are very tricky. So yeah, 25 laps of avoiding them is going to be the task, and obviously being there as well. And huge DS trains are going to form. So if I'm not up there once again, which I hope to be in the qualifying, then it's going to be very tricky. That gap between first and second is the biggest margin you can have. So I think P3 is already the minimum target, and then maybe with some help over fastest lap, or I don't know how to make that work in terms of the maths already. But
Hmm.
looking forward to probably another hard practice session under the week to get that
Hmm.
ready, because as of right now I don't feel that much confidence in that track.
Hmm.
But obviously, as we have seen with the street tracks this season, everything can change within a couple of seconds when there's a safety car or yeah, just a huge accident where someone can get collected by, or even today, like if some of the lap cars had an incident directly in front of me, it would have also been huge dilemma for me. So
Mm.
yeah, just need to put in the work to have a good solid foundation that I don't think I currently have, and then I think I'm good to go, and at least fight for that second spot to have that gap not being taken away from me at the end there.
All right. Well, look, thank you very much for taking my questions. It feels like it's your championship to lose, but we will see what happens going into next week. Thank you so much for taking my questions. Congratulations again on your win.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
yeah, no, it's gonna be one hell of a it's gonna be one hell of an evening next week. So I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. Alrighty, thank you again. Rush the series. Well, it was second place you had to settle for, but sadly that means we say goodbye to you in the championship. It has been an excellent drive from you throughout the entire season. Just a few things went wrong here and there, but I think you're going to come out with the result you deserve regardless. Rest of the series, second place. Congratulations in Monaco, especially. How do you feel?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that race was a bit anticlimactic with those two guys in between us and Herman
Mm,
um, at the last safety car, especially because they let us go then very weirdly. Because, like Sir Ibo, just before he made it perfectly, he just went off track, so we could just pass him behind the safety car.
hmm
Yeah, those other two guys, I don't know. They maybe need to learn that. Yeah, and then it was just. I mean, I was just trying to keep it on track. I hadn't practiced a lot. I was expecting many more safety cars. So, um, congratulations to our whole league that we kept it reasonably clean, I think. And
Yeah.
those two guys were very quick. Like Andy and Herman were much quicker on race pace.
Mm.
And I don't know what happened to Andy that I got gifted his spot, but yeah.
Well, yeah, no. What happened was is that he got a 3 second track limits penalty. Then he had damage to the front wing, so he had to pit in for that, and
Yeah,
change
I
his front
didn't have
wing.
a penalty. I just had a warning, one warning, and I got the illegal overtake penalty, 10 seconds in the end.
Oh yeah,
Behind the safety car.
because what happened before the safety car, Andy damaged his front wing. So
Ah,
what
okay.
happened was he had to take the extra pit stop, and then that gifted you second place in the end.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So that's what happened there, and then of course he had to make another pit stop again to change from the softs to the medium, and then we'll take it from there. So anyway, well, actually, I've just got some news in the
We found the guilty guy.
yes, it was Vedaboy who actually read it up
Yeah.
early. So he has been told to reread the rules, and a world championship point has been given to Andy. So
Brilliant.
now that means the deficit goes from 9 to 8 points. But anyway,
Oh my God, nice.
so it's gonna be quite a finish next week, because now, as long as Andy has that fastest lap and he finishes, I would say, third or above, well, considering what might happen to Herman, of course, we need to keep that in mind as well. Well, let's just say Andy has a couple more options on the table going into Jeddah. But anyway, enough about that. But Russia Siri, although we are saying goodbye to you in your contention for the championship, please talk about some highlights which have been some of your most essential.
Yeah, I think the 3 wins, of course. Then yeah, what I missed this season was just consistency to, like, on the tracks where I'm bad, just to finish and not throw it in the wall or into people like in Singapore. So yeah, it was a nice. I'm still in development. I'm still learning. I'm still getting quicker. So I'm pretty satisfied with my developmental rate or my learning rate, and I'm curious how far this can go. Like, a championship here is definitely possible. I saw that now this season. Yeah, let's see.
Well, just one last question to you. For next season, do you think you could actually bring the pain to Andy and Herman?
Yeah, of course, I think that, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Well, look, if I am here next season, I will look forward to calling that all out on you. But yeah, no, that's it for this week. Congratulations on second place. I'm sorry to see you go for the championship, but we'll hope to see you on the podium next week.
Yeah, man. GG. Thanks for commentating, man.
You're very welcome. And Herman German as well. Thank you very much for being here. I think you've just seen what's happened. So anyway, 8 points now. And yeah, no, we'll just have to see what happens next week. But until then, see ya.
Indeed.
All right, well, look, that concludes our post-race interviews. We had Herman the German and Rush the Siri take some interviews. Obviously, we've had to sadly say goodbye to Rush the Siri and his championship charge, but he feels he can come back next season. Now, of course, talking about next season, if I'm not here for whatever reason, whether that's to do with work or moving to America, I just kind of want to say it's an absolute pleasure to commentate this season for SSRL, and thank you to Quincy as well for giving me the opportunity. I will go through all of that in more detail next week, and I'll give you a proper call off, send off, whatever you want to say, next week. So whatever happens, regardless, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? We've got one last race next week, the 2 championship contenders, which is now Herman the German and Andy Andre, separated by 8 points. It is Jeddah next week. Let me just bring up the calendar and show you how far we have come. Ignore Azerbaijan, Singapore, and Monaco now, because it is one round on the 1st of October on Saudi Arabia. So, Dallas Gaming saying that he had a stressful drive as well. And GG everyone, you just got a Ruslan jump scare. Anno did. And there you go. That's all we get to say about that. But anyway, listen, I can't wait for next week. It will be quite an occasion, whatever happens. It is all to play for Herman the German and Andy Andre, but more importantly, VCarb have the Constructors Champions and will go into next season as the holders. I'm going to end this. If you have been a watcher of Formula One from the 2006, well, from the early 2000s, you might recognize this in case, but I feel like this is appropriate considering the racing that we've had today. Thank you so much for watching, and from wherever you may be in the world, wish you a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Stay safe, stay alive. See you next time. See you next week for the finale. Until then, bye-bye.